Hi, Shell here, Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to make this box and this card. I'll just pop it out for you. This is a gatefold card. I'll just slip my ribbon off. I did my butterflies. That's the outside of my card. And this is the inside. And I'm going to show you how to make this with just one stamp set. I'll just put that to one side. And the stamp set is the Butterfly Basics. And for my inks, my colours, I've chose the Melon Mambo and the Pear Pizzazz. For this, you're going to need 3 pieces of A4 card, depending on what colour choice you like, and 1 piece of 12 by 12. I've used the Background Designer Series paper in Brights, and mine's all Melon Mambo. As you'll get to know, I'm a Melon Mambo fan. And you'll need some bits of Whisper White for your stamping. So first of all, we'll start with the card. I've cut all my pieces ready, but I will give you all the dimensions on my blog, so don't be worrying that they're not there. For the card, like I said, it's an A4, and I'm just going to score it at 2 7/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the one before the 3. And then I like to turn it round, and 2 7/8 again. And I'll score that down there. That's that bit done. Pop that down there to one side for 1 minute. And I'm going to bring my bold folder in, and I'm just going to burnish my card. Yes, we do have a gap in the middle, but that's how I like my card, because we want to have a little peek of what's going on inside. And like I said, I've already cut my pieces of paper, but I will give you the dimensions for them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these down. I'm going to use some snail, provided my snail will behave for me. And I'm just going to put, you'll take a bit longer and a bit more. And I'm just going to pop that down there. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I find if you prepare it all first and then put it all together. And then for the middle, same thing, just a bit of snail. Like I said, you'll take a bit more time. And I'm going to just see where I'm looking. Pop that down there. That's done. Then we wanted 10 butterflies to stick and our sentiment. And well, I think what we'll do is we'll start with our sentiment. We'll get a piece of Whisper White. And like I said, I only used the one stamp set, so I've used the Sending Wishes Your Way. I'm just going to tap that lightly. Pop that down. There we go. Now this just about fits in our 1 3/4 circle. You just line it up nicely and pop that out. Then you want a scrap of Melon Mambo. That's besides your 3 sheets that you've got, so make sure you've got a scrap. And for this I used the 2 3/8 scallop circle. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of there because I want it to be raised in the middle of my card. Just take them off. And it just looks nice. It looks like a button in the middle. And for this, our snail again. Just a strip in the middle. And we look for the middle of the card. I say about there. Pop that in. Like I said, I had 6 butterflies. I'm not going to bore you with 6 butterflies. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to make one butterfly. Again, from the same stamp set. Just pop a little butterfly down there. And then this is the itty bitty butterfly punch that I've used. And we're just going to pop that in there, line that up, punch it out. And then all I'm going to do is turn my butterfly over and just a little piece of our foam pad, pop in the middle of our butterfly. And before you take that off, I've got some gems, some basic jewels, and these are in strips, but I've cut so that I've got 3, because 3 fits on the body just nicely. So what we do is we just pop them in the middle of our body like so. We've got a nice butterfly. Take that off now, and you can bend it up, and we'll stick one down there. And like I said, I did mine earlier to save time. And we're just going to peel the back off now and stick our butterflies in. Like I said, these are the fiddly bits. Pop on that side. One up the top there. I have made the box with a bit of dimension when we get to the box, so that if you want to have more built up things in the middle of your card or on the outside, there will be room for that. So that's the middle of our card, all nicely done. Now we're going to fold it. Like I said, I've already cut mine, but I will give you all the dimensions for every piece that I've cut, so don't be worrying. Piece of Whisper White. Now my daubers again for this, and I'm going to bring my Pear Pizzazz in first, and I'm going to get some ink on my dauber. Just keep rubbing it up and down, and then I'm going to just dab on my leaves there. If you can just see, I'm just following my leaves. And have a look at that, and I'm quite happy that I've covered my leaves. Plenty of ink. So then I'm going to swap on my Melon Mambo. Same thing. Get myself some ink on my dauber, and then I'm going to dab onto my flower heads. What nice pink flowers. I've done that. Pop those to one side. Put the ink out the way. Bring my piece of Whisper White. I'm going to breathe on it just to make, in case it's dried a bit. And then I'm going to just pop that down. And hey presto. There we have our flower nicely on there. Now I don't want to, it might not be dry yet, so I'll do it this side. Just pop some dimensionals on the back because I want this piece raised. Like I said, you could decoupage this if you wanted to stamp that flower again. You could stamp that flower again. It'll be raised. There will be room in the box. Take those off. I'm going to pop that. Let's have a look at that. Pop that on there. Just now again. I bring the card in now. I want it just on this side because that's where I'm going to stick it. You could use sticky strip for this. Make sure it stays a bit longer. But I'm just doing this for quickness, and I would pop that down in the centre of my card there. And like I said, I've got my butterflies that I made earlier. And we're going to put one down there. One up the top there. And I want to put one on the top corner there. And one down there. Now, some ribbon. I've used the, it's a silver satin 1/8 ribbon. And I'm terrible at those, so you're going to have to excuse me with this one. like to get a nice chunk of ribbon, and then I'm going to try to do my bow. Like normally what happens to me is my bow ends up upside down for some reason. It's not the perfect bow. You'll have a bit more time to do this, but I'm doing my best here. My bow keeps our card nicely shut, and now I'll show you how to make the box to pop our card in. So I'll pop that to one side, bring my scoreboard back in. So what we're going to do now is those two A4 sheets of paper, I've actually cut them down. These actually are 10 by 7 and 5/8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to score them at 6/8, which is 3/4, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 3/4 mark. And I'm just going to do this all the way around. That's one bit. Same again. All the way around. So now we can pop this down, and we'll bring our bone folder in, and we'll just burnish our edges so that it makes it easier for when we're folding our box in and gluing in a moment. Like I said, I have given you a bit of depth, so there's room for some height. That's one. Bring the other one in. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring my scissors in, and I'm just going to cut up to the line on all four. Let's cut up to the line. I'll do the bottom first, I'll show you the top in a minute. And what I'm going to do is tuck all them four like that. Trusty Tombow, a blob on each corner. And we're going to fold those in. Like I said, you'll have a bit more time, but roughly if you count to 10, tend to stick quite quick, Tombow. And that's that one done. And then for this one, I'm going to cut up to the line again. But on this is going to be the back of my box, I'm going to cut this totally out. I don't want this piece. I'm going to cut that out. I don't need those two. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stick these two little tabs in. I also need to tell you something else before I do this, because this is the front of my box. So before I stick them down, I'm going to get my 1-inch circle punch to make that little lip. And you try and look about halfway. Pop that out. It just makes it easier for you to open your box once your card's in there. And we'll hold those for a couple of minutes, like 10 seconds to be exact. And then, like I said, that's going to be the front, that's going to be the back. So this lip here, we want plenty of glue on here, like so. And then I'm going to shut my box up, and we're going to just rub that. Just rub it and wait for it to stick down. I say you'll have a bit longer than me, but there's your little lip to lift your box open. And then, like I did, you'll just pop your card in. And like I said, there's still room there. You could have built up butterflies. You could, like I said, you could decoupage your flowers so it's higher up. There is room for some dimension there. I hope you've enjoyed that little box and card. I'll just show you a couple of others I made. I made this one using pistachio pudding. I've done a slightly longer thing and slightly different in the middle. And if you don't want your box plain, I just stamp that so you can show you that you can just stamp the box. Knocking everything flying. And I did the I love you and fabulous is what you are in the middle. And then lastly, I just did an A5 card. So if you don't want to do a gatefold, you can just do an A5 card and you could build that up with flowers and butterflies and all sorts. Like I said, it's quite a decent depth on the box, so there's plenty of room in there for some dimension. Hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you today. I'm just going to show you my trusty piece of paper. If you could like and click the subscribe button. If you'd like to purchase anything from myself, you can by popping along to stampin.co.uk. You'll find me on Facebook at Shelves Craft Corner. Any questions, just drop me a line and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And don't forget, all the dimensions for what I've shown you today I will put on the blog. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.